Welcome to Deathmatch and Chill. My name is Dom,
I'm Colt.
and today we're going to be talking about will Battlefield 2042 and Halo Infinite become innovations for FPS games or push the FPS genre further. I know we were talking a little bit before this. Oh, and by the way, the gameplay you see in the background is all Rogue Company. If it looks like trash, it probably is. So, anyway, I don't know if you want to go back to that and kind of pick up where we left off.
We can or kind of switch gears entirely. One of them that is
Yeah.
truly innovative is the 128 players.
Yes. Yeah, so I was thinking about that too because this is the first time that we've had that many multiplayer um that this time that we've had that large of a multiplayer.
Right. The only thing I can think of is what Mag back in PlayStation 2, Xbox 360 didn't it have like a 100 players? It was like 50v50 or something. Or did you ever play that?
No, I never played that. I've never actually know about that. Like on the PlayStation 2 games, I had a PlayStation 2 that was one of my first consoles, but I didn't have internet at the time, so
I'm trying to look at it real quick because it's PlayStation 3.
Oh, PlayStation 3? Oh.
Yeah. No, it's good. I said PS2 originally. I couldn't remember. It was 256 players,
But
actually.
anyway, yeah. So if we're talking about the 128, see, I was thinking this goes back to that idea. Is like, is this necessarily an innovation or is this just an expansion on what we've done previously? Like, I know we haven't exactly seen 128 players on a multiplayer server before, but is that necessarily an innovation or is it just an expansion? You know what I mean? Because one thing I want to kind of play devil's advocate here and like push back on the idea that these games are going to do anything innovative because lately the gaming industry has not given us much reason for optimism. And even though I'm super hyped for Battlefield, I want to like push back just for a minute. You know what I mean? And try to make it seem, I don't know, try to put poke holes in my optimism a little bit. So like if it came out with 128 players, my biggest problem is what if there's a ton of frame rate drops? If there's a bunch of lag, how is that gonna work? Because this is an experiment, too.
I think that's part of the reason why Battlefield's not going with a campaign. That way they can put more money, time, and
Mm.
effort into like servers and making sure it's more stable, but it is Battlefield.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I trust Dice a hell of a lot more. Um, well, and I trust Dice and EA. I think a little bit more than I trust Activision, even though, I mean, they're probably second worst EA if we're thinking about gaming companies right now. Um, but like I know when Call of Duty took that model, they really when they came out with the idea to not do a campaign, I think they took it as, oh, great, we can take a day off. Now, all we have to do is multiplayer. Where it does seem like Battlefield is trying to make up for not having a campaign, which I can really appreciate.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess only time will tell, but I feel like if they actually put that time and effort that would have gone into campaign and switch those teams to multiplayer, I feel like it could be a really good multiplayer experience.
Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping so. Yeah, we'll see. But in regards to multiplayer, so they have larger modes. They're coming out with this new Hazard Zone, which we don't know too much about. But you were mentioning before that it's like an escape from Tarkov type team-based experience.
Yeah, it was the leaker was Tom Henderson, and he's the same
Mm-hmm.
one I think in his Discord where he leaked the title Battlefield 2042 before it was ever confirmed. So I mean, you can kind of believe what he's saying. But yeah, he said it'll be free to play with battle passes and seasons, and the gameplay is being likened to Escape from Tarkov or like Battle Royale like adjacent games.
You know, that sounds really like cool, and I fucking hope it's not a traditional battle royale. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I can only speak for myself, and I think you're there with me where, like, we're kind of over battle royale at this point.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm one person.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I just like I think the reason battle royale took off was like PUBG had a lot of success, and then if I had to guess, if I had to make a prediction, I don't think the battle royale genre is going to be doing too hot in the near future, especially with games like Halo Infinite and Battlefield 2042. I don't think people are going to go back to battle royale personally, so I hope this Hazard Zone doesn't feel like a traditional battle royale. You know what I mean? I hope it feels fresh and like something new because I think that genre is pretty played out, in my opinion.
Right. But unfortunately, it is kind of one of the like hot things right now, so you can almost not
Yeah,
guarantee, but you can almost assume that a lot of the big AAA first-person shooters coming out like from now until the next big whatever, like battle
yeah,
royales come out, they're all gonna have it or something similar attached to it.
yeah. Probably so because yeah, you like look at like Apex Legends and you look at Fortnite and shit, and they're still doing really high. Even Warzone.
Right.
Um, yeah, yeah, I could totally see it. You know, I'm wondering if this game does come out to if these games do come out to be innovative, are they gonna set like a new trend? You know what I mean? Where the classic battle royale style might go. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But
Right.
anyway, they sucked on Firestorm. I believe that was the name of the battle royale in Battlefield 5. So fucking bad. Let's hope they do it better if they do that. And then we were speculating about this new redacted mode that is as of yet unrevealed. But it's supposed to be the love letter to Battlefield fans.
Yeah, same leaker, Tom Henderson. He said that the third mode will be called Battlefield Hub, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
described as the ultimate sandbox experience, and will feature remasters of weapons, vehicles, and maps. And then you'll play with the 2042 specialists.
Oh God, as if there's anything that could get my money right now, it's that.
Yeah, that could
Like
potentially be insane.
God, could you imagine going back and playing like Bad Company 2 maps? Um, oh fuck.
Well, yeah, and then even on top of that, you have like an M1 Abrams going up against some German World War II like Tiger tank.
Oh God, that sounds awesome. I mean, it sounds like they're doing what the community wants. You know what I mean? They're really listening to the people. It seems like, or they're trying to do something that is consumer friendly for once, and that's one reason I'm so hyped about this. Because if you look at the other end of the aisle, a lot of games today are not doing that. They're not
Right.
coming through on what they promise, or they're not coming through to help the community, just to further their own, deepen their pockets. Um, so that's pretty speculative, but that sounds fucking amazing. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about if we get into specifics with Battlefield 2042. The devs were mentioning at E3 in the reveals that there's going to be bigger maps. These maps are supposed to be huge, like massive maps. They had this graphic pulled up where they're like 3 or 4 times the size of previous large maps from other Battlefield games. However, they were talking about their new map like construction style, and he said that they were using Golmud Railway as one of the templates for how they're going to be doing this new map style. I'm not sure if you caught that on the in depth.
I didn't actually.
Okay. So he was talking about like how they wanted these large maps, and then like in one area you have a downtown area, and then that's its own area, and then you take a vehicle, you go all the way across the map, then you have a stadium. But he likened it to Golmud Railway, and that worried me because from Battlefield 4 Gold Mode Railway, I absolutely like despise that map. Sometimes I know a lot of people like it. Did you like Gold Mode? Do you know that one by name?
For I liked it for sniping.
Okay. Yeah. For sniping, it's cool. For vehicles, if you're big into vehicles, it was cool. However, like if you're just wanting to play infantry and to not worry so much about vehicles, that map is a fucking pain in the ass. And that's what I'm worried. I don't want this game to turn into World of Tanks. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
And
know there's a lot of areas and whatnot, but still.
well, we only truly know about four of the specialists out of
Yes,
the
yes.
10 that there are. So my
That's
hope
true.
is that there's at least a couple that are pretty good at like anti-tank or more of like a defense,
Yes.
because I think that's what would change it, but it's hard to say.
For sure. I think it could definitely be balanced better. I hope they balance it better than Battlefield 4 was for vehicles, because how it was in Battlefield 4 is you really had to have two or three people shooting at a tank at one time, in order to like take that vehicle out. And
Right.
that is something God. But then it becomes a problem if you have like two people in a tank and one person is able to take out that tank. That's a balance issue too. So I don't know how they're gonna work that out, but I hope they do something cool. Or
It
you
led
just run away from the tanks.
Right. It led to some kind of funny moments too, though. Kind of those what they're calling only in Battlefield moments. Because I remember me and my
Yeah.
friends when we'd play, we'd run a full engineer squad, and then we'd hide in a building, wait for the tank to drive by, and then we'd all run out with our little blow torches and try and stalk the tank and blow it up with just the blow torches. But nine
Yeah,
ti
for sure. That's true.
9 times out of 10 we got killed, but it did leave some funny moments.
Yeah, I could see that. See, like I always get frustrated because when I play, I'm like the only engineer it seems on the entire team. So like I'm firing all these rockets and I'm getting all these tanks down to like maybe half health, but that's almost all I can do.
Right. But
Now, oh sorry, go ahead.
if we stay on the big maps, my concern is if these are maps that were designed for the 128 players, so 64 on 64
Yeah.
on next gen, and then you think that the old gen games are remaining 64, so 32 on 32, will those maps feel empty?
Yeah. That's a good point actually. I didn't even think about that. Oh shit.
Because
Yeah,
like,
they you
I
would
mean,
think.
if the smaller maps might be okay, but some of them like there one in Antarctica, I can't remember the name of the map off the top of my head.
Mhm.
Irreversible, I think. Yeah, Irreversible. It's supposed to be their biggest map, but a map like that, if it's supposed to be the biggest map, and if it's the biggest map in Battlefield history, I have a feeling that 64 or 32 on 32 would feel extremely empty. Like I could feel like there could be a good like 30 minutes to a minute in between each gunfight. Or not 30 minutes,
Especially on a
30
fucking ice
seconds
map.
to a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a good point because if you look at some of the maps that we have now, they feel fucking empty on a full 32v32 map. That makes me wonder: are these big maps only going to be reserved for those 128 player modes, and then they're going to restrict it to maybe one section of that map for smaller modes?
I mean, you could, but then the other thing too, like if the game's not cross-gen, and I'm pretty sure cross-platform has yet to be confirmed or denied,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
they have I from the things I've heard, it sounds like it's kind of all but confirmed that it's not cross-gen, which makes sense if you got a bunch of people, you got PC, Series S and X, and PS5, they can all play 128.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes sense to not do cross-gen, but if
Yeah.
they're not if they're not doing any of that, like I feel like if you start taking away maps, now you're cutting the player base apart from each other because of just non-cross gen. And then you take maps away from the like previous gen consoles. I don't know, I feel like that could cause problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that, and I wonder how they're going to address that, because one thing that they really stress is that they want this game to have a lot of longevity. They want it to be around for a while. Um, so I want to know. Yeah, that would be interesting to see how they're going to handle that and how they're going to balance that.
Right.
Because you don't want to split your fucking player base 5 ways. It's enough to do it 3 ways. But
Right.
um,
That is one
yeah.
of the nice things, though. The leaker about the Battlefield hub. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure that he was. They were saying that that's supposed to be. I think that's remaining 64. So 32 on 32, 64 players. And that's also the mode that I believe. No, it's Hazard Zone that's going free to play. But so maybe they'll have cross-gen in the Battlefield hub mode, maybe.
Hmm.
But I don't know if you could
Oh yeah, that would
specifically
be cool.
change it like mode by mode.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be cool if they did that, because then it would be more standardized. You don't have to worry about those giant ass maps. They might
Right.
do that.
And then because the other thing too that he was saying that is it's not meant to be a competitive game mode, that it's built
Oh, thank God.
strictly for fun. And the other thing too is he said that since the weapons are basically getting ripped out of all the old and like new games, there won't be like any balance to it. It'll be out of balance. It's made specifically for more just like fun and crazy moments.
And I can appreciate that. I think that's something that we can appreciate a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's interesting because when we think about games now, one of the biggest problems that we have is balance. Like, we're always fucking, but getting mad about balancing issues in an overpowered gun or something that the devs never seem to address. But like, on the other level, it is nice to just have a fun time, and
Right.
not worry about all the technical stuff.
Right. I mean, that's kind of where I've been recently is I'm on a hunt to play a game that's fun again instead of these sweat fests that are everything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you know, one thing I can appreciate that they're doing for this game too is they're doing. I know they're not doing a campaign, but well, they're kind of doing a campaign, because they're releasing, like, they have backstories for all these characters. They have a backstory of the world, and then they said that they're going to be releasing more lore and whatnot as the seasons release, which I thought was pretty cool. I know they tried to do that in like Call of Duty, but it didn't really work out too well for me because I wasn't really sold on the lore. But this seemed pretty interesting when you go in and you actually look at what the world that they're trying to construct here. Have you done a deep dive on that?
Um, I have not.
Yeah, it's all good. Like, I found it in a deep corner of fucking EA's website. I was looking at it, and it looks kind of cool because it's like they're doing a thing where it takes place in 2042, but then they have a timeline leading up to like how the world went to shit. So I believe it was in the 2030s, like Russia and the U.S. Tensions are ramping up there, and then climate change causes all these catastrophes to go down all over the place. So when we see these storms coming in and whatnot, that is supposed to be like climate change, I guess, how the world is at that point in time. And then you have all these soldiers where all these countries fell, and these soldiers are called non-patriots, and then they created like their own um, system of governance, I guess, and then other countries hire them out to fight wars and fight their battles for them, basically. So I appreciate that they're trying to make it interesting, at least, and they're trying to give context. I do like that.
This that is something I can get behind for sure. It kind of sucks that that information's not more like well known, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't talk about this at all. I had to find it by fucking going to their website and clicking like the links to each character, reading their backstory, and then clicking like the world of Battlefield 2042 or whatever. That's the only way I found out. Why aren't they marketing this?
Yeah, I
Like, if you have a connection to the characters, you have a connection to the world, it seems interesting. You're gonna fucking more people are gonna buy it. I mean, come
right.
on, just put it out there. It's already done.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I think the last big point that I had on Battlefield was the Battle Pass model that they're going to be following that I'm super fucking stoked about. Where they're going to be doing these battle passes, much like the Call of Duty battle pass system. I will give Call of Duty credit because they did kind of get this battle pass system going and kind of innovate with it, where you get a bunch of free stuff, but then you can pay and get the expensive stuff too. And what's cool about this is that from what they said, the battle pass shit you can't buy in the store. You have to do the battle pass and progress up the battle pass, and that means you can buy old battle passes and work through those. You can work on a current one, whatever you want to do. But I thought that was really sweet, and I'm so excited for that battle pass actually.
Is that the Battlefield Battle Pass? I thought that was the Halo Battle Pass that was doing that.
Oh fuck, is that Halo?
I'm pretty sure that's the
Ah,
Halo
shit.
Pass.
Oh, never mind then. Fuck.
You're
Well,
good.
anyway, I know Battle Pass for Battlefield. I know they're doing a Battle Pass. Yeah, but I think I got fucked up on the details there. Oh shit.
No,
Okay.
you're,
All
you're
right.
good. You're good.
That's Halo. But anyway, okay. So did you have any final remarks on Battlefield?
Um, I guess a couple thoughts, speculations, but you watched the 2042 reveal trailer, right? The
Yes.
non-in-depth trailer.
Yes.
And you played like the bad companies, right?
Yes.
Do you remember how you could, if you killed someone with a knife or assassinated them, you could steal their tags and like collect gamer dog tags?
Yeah, yeah.
I noticed that it was like a minute 34 into the reveal trailer. Um,
Where he
one of
stabs the guy.
yeah, but I noticed that he rips his dog tags off. So I'm
Yeah,
curious.
that was fucking sweet.
I'm curious if it's a mechanic that could come back, where you could collect dog tags again.
That would be sweet. I really hope they do it,
Yeah,
man.
'cause
Yeah.
I used to enjoy that. Like, you have this dude that's just like killing the fuck out of you the entire match, and you finally get to go up and get that knife kill, and you take his dog tags, and then like 3 weeks later, you can be cruising through your dog tags, and then see his gamer tag under a dog tag, and remember, oh yeah, I remember that dickhead.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Now that you're reminding me about that moment, I had a thought about that moment in the trailer. I don't mean to be a nitpicker or be an asshole or anything, but did you notice he stabbed him right underneath the clavicle, I believe, like a little above the clavicle, and the dude kind of drops like that knife blow just killed him, and I was like, wait a minute, that knife did not cut anywhere that would have killed you instantly. I was being so picky. I was like, man, if he wanted to kill him instantly, why didn't you slit his throat, stab him in the throat or something? But he said he stabs him in the clavicle, and he didn't like stab him in the lungs, in the heart, or any obvious major arteries or anything like that. So I was like, maybe you should have done it a little bit different. But that was just my thoughts on that particular moment.
Maybe he got shot at the same time he got stabbed by someone
True.
else.
True, that could happen. Especially if he got shot in the dick, he'd be bleeding out pretty quick.
Jesus
All
Christ.
right.
One
Okay. Anyway.
one
Oh,
more
sorry.
thing, kind of sticking in the same spot of the trailer. I noticed that the guy's arm patch says Espinoza on it. So I'm assuming that might be another one of the specialists that is yet to be
Oh.
unrevealed. And you see towards the end of the trailer when the tornado starts ripping through the city,
Hmm.
you see another character also in like a gas mask, but it's a different type of mask, different outfit, but his arm patch still says Espinoza. So I think that's what made me, since you see him twice, makes me think he's a specialist. But if you actually pay attention, you can see the outfit change, so you might actually be getting a sneak peek at some of the like customization.
Oh, that would be tight. You know what? No, damn it, I'm gonna have to watch that trailer over again and see if I
Yeah, so
see
like
if I notice anything.
if you watch it at a minute 34 is where you see Espinoza, and he's got the dog tags in his hand because he's the guy that just stabbed the other guy. And then, like I said, later, as the tornado's ripping through, it's kind of the camera pans down and looks at a group of people, and there's one more he's like the only one that's wearing like some sort of like face mask, and you can see the Espinosa like arm patch.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try actually to put that in right here, too. So that clip from the trailer, I can throw it in here,
That'd be cool.
and yeah, we'll have that. So anybody watching will be able to see that. Um, so yeah, that would be fucking cool. Anyway, do you want to move on to Halo,
Yeah, we can move on to Halo. Though
and then
only
talk shit about Call of Duty?
yeah.
I wanna do that.
The only other thing I'm excited for is that EA Play July 22nd. We're supposed to find out more about Hazard Zone, and I'm curious if they show off any more of the specialists.
And have a fucking beta date.
Yeah, an
And
announcement, that'd be
like,
cool.
that's what I'm looking forward to. I just want to play that beta.
Right?
Cool. But anyway, yeah. So we could talk about Halo, man. Halo's another heavy hitter. Like we just spent like 25 minutes talking about Battlefield. Now let's talk about Halo, man. They've got a whole bunch of innovative shit coming up. As I've already mentioned, the battle pass system's fucking awesome. But anyway, anyway, what's like the number one thing you're looking forward to out of Halo Infinite?
Um, as far as the multiplayer goes, I think I'd have to say that mine's the customization. Like, it seems like the customization in this is gonna be insane.
Yeah, yeah, and it almost had like an RPG looter shooter type feel to it because on their website each piece of armor was like named. You know what I mean?
I did see that, yeah.
So it's not like fucking, oh, you get blue shoulder pad number 3. It's like,
Right.
oh, you get, this Spartan armor set or whatever the name is. I'm not
Because,
huge
yeah,
into the lore there.
looking at it, you can customize your helmet gear, visor, shoulders, gloves, chest, armor core, armor coating, knee pads, gun coating, and then you can also add prosthetics to both arms and both legs.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then the other one that's got me, even as far as customization goes, that I think has me most excited is the personal AI. So like Cortana from the campaign, every Spartan in multiplayer, you get to pick your own personal AI. So your own little AI that goes in you, and it's I was watching a Halo follower on YouTube, and he was saying that each AI will have like different voices, appearance, and personality types. So
Fuck.
there's a scene in the trailer where they capture the flag and they get in the mongoose and they take off, and then in the trailer that like everyone's seen, it
Yeah.
says, now if you can please honk as fast as you can or whatever. In the unedited version, it actually says you can please haul ass at your earliest convenience. And it's just little things like that. I think they have me hyped for this game.
That's pretty cool. And what's awesome is Halo. I remember. So I was more like a casual Halo fan. I played Halo 2 multiplayer. I played Halo 3 multiplayer. I played the campaigns a little bit, but I never followed them too much. And this seems like a return to form, like a return to that childhood fun. You know what I mean? Like that back in the day where you would have 1v1s on Halo 2 or you play King of the Hill or something and it was just fun as shit. It seems like they're kind of going back to that.
Right. I'm excited because yeah, I mean, I played a little bit of Halo 1, but not too much. And then towards the end of high school, I would ditch class and go over to a buddy's house, and there was like 8 of us that would play Halo 2. We'd play online, but a lot of times it was just like
It was LAN.
it was 2v2, 4v4 like
Yeah.
split screen.
Oh my
And
god, those are the days. Yeah.
oh yeah. And then Halo 3, I played the absolute shit out of Halo 3.
Yeah, I didn't play Halo 3 as much. I played mostly Halo 2. But yeah, man, those are the fucking days. You had people over and it was just fun to do. And it seems like they're going back to that. It seems like it's got those vibes, and especially the fact that the multiplayer is free to play. That's insane.
Right.
No,
That's huge.
nobody. You're not risking anything, which is awesome.
Yeah. You're gonna get a bunch of new players into the ecosystem, and then on top of it, it's not no longer just on Xbox. PC can play it too. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like this could be a huge jump for Halo. Hopefully.
And it's just another consumer friendly option. I was just thinking because I was trying to think about this, and with the free to play aspect of the multiplayer, I wrote down. I wrote, what's the catch? So like, is it going to be reduced progression if you're going to get in there? Can you pay? I know that they were trying to say things to the effect of, it's not going to be like pay to win. You're going to have to earn these things through the battle pass system and whatnot. But how are they going to do this so that it's free to play, but then the company also makes money? Are they expecting to make all their money off of battle passes?
I have a feeling because they said there'd be a shop that you couldn't buy things off the battle pass in the shop. So I'm guessing that
Mm.
is also there'll be the inverse to that, and there'll be things in the shop that you can't get in the battle pass or just unlock through progression. So I'm sure there'll be some skins, visor colors, prosthetics, whatever, AIs most likely, that'll be shop only that you'll probably have to pay real money for, or there may be some sort of in-game currency, but it'll probably take similar to like Rogue Company, for example, where there is an in-game currency, but it
Mm.
takes a year and a half to get the currency you need to
Yeah.
buy anything in the shop. So the quicker, easier way is to just spend real money to buy it.
Yeah. I, man, I think that's cool. Fuck. I really hope they don't do that though. Like that's just my personal opinion.
I mean,
I really hope they don't.
I I kind of hope not too, but I also understand and respect the fact that they need to make money off of it. I mean, granted, they'll be
Yeah.
making money off the campaign, I'm sure. Well, that I don't know entirely either because it's day and date on Battle Pass
Yeah.
or Game Pass. So anyone who's got Game Pass is already going to be able to get it. But I suppose there might be the few of those loyal fans like myself. I probably will just straight up buy the game because I kind of, especially if it's good, like I want to give them the money.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is kind of a good balance that they've struck between, um, because I remember back in the past, like loot boxes, they've tried to implement these fucking microtransactions, and they've done it so shittily before. And I guess we can thank Call of Duty for that because Call of Duty did it so bad off the bat in things like FIFA and NBA 2K. They did these microtransactions so bad that now we've seemed to have found a good balance.
Right.
Hopefully, I'm fine with the battle pass system where like some things are free and then you pay for other things.
Right.
I'm totally fine for that. I just want to avoid a situation where you get in there, it's free to play, and even though it's free to play, you feel like it's bare bones unless you drop $50.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
Um,
I don't think it will. I think
yeah,
they made it sound like the battle pass will have a lot, which that you're gonna have to pay money for. But they also made it sound like there's a lot you can get via just like progression, and I'm sure they'll have challenge based, like get 1,000 headshots, unlock this helmet.
hmm I hope
And
so.
and I'm okay with the shop as long as it's not pay to win. If it's cosmetics only, like yeah, that kind of sucks because there might be some cool outfit that I want that I can't get, but at the same time it's just an outfit. Now if there's like a battle rifle or something like that that for whatever reason is in the shop that's way better than the original battle rifle, that's when it'll piss me off.
Yeah, like fucking Advanced Warfare, and there
Yeah.
was that variant of the bow going around that just tore up everyone.
Yeah,
God,
the other one, I don't know if you ever played it, but it's a free to play shooter called Warface.
I played it for a minute.
That was another one that was really bad. Like you could drop a fair amount of money and get like badass guns that would just melt you that you could never
hmm
to try and get them in game because you that was the same thing as they were trying to say it wasn't pay to win because you could unlock everything in game, but you would have to grind that game for hours, days even, to unlock some of this stuff that people could go drop $20 on and then be melting you right away.
Yeah, and that's just a miserable experience for for everybody involved, and that, that's like finding that balance. If they stick with just cosmetics, I'm cool with that. But I
Yeah.
do hope they have some progression in the multiplayer, because one thing I miss from old school games is that the amount of challenges and the progression that you see in the multiplayer really has dropped quite a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I remember
Right.
back in the day, like, if you think of Call of Duty Ghosts, there were a ton of outfits and shit that you could go get, and they were challenge based. Some of them you had to play with a clan, some of them you had to do, by yourself, whatever. But they were fucking cool. And lately, I don't know. It seems like there's not as much progression based, but I think that's one of those things that really adds to the longevity and life cycle of a game, is when you have all these really cool challenges. And not just fucking dark matter. Okay, no
Right.
one cares about dark matter anymore. But something substantial.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm I'm hoping that with like the personal AI, staying going back to that for a second, I hope they get
Yep.
people like I just think it'd be badass to have like Jack Black voice and AI, and then have Jack Black in my head telling me to haul ass after I capture the flag or whatever, like something
Oh,
I
that
don't
would
know.
be so
That
funny.
those are ones I guarantee you'd have to pay for, because they have to pay the voice actor to do all of it, but
Hmm.
I would I'd pay a fair
I'd
amount of money
fucking do
for
it.
shit like that. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Samuel L. Jackson one, I would totally pay for.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. Um, but anyway, so with all this talk, man, I don't know if you find it as interesting as I do, but what would Call of Duty have to do this year to not die? So, because I think all these companies are making such right steps, and Call of Duty's going back to the past. And I'm trying to think, what the hell must it be like to be an Activision exec and thinking, what do we have to do to get people to buy our game? They could make. I think Call of Duty, in order to save their ass, should make the entire game free this year. Like, that might be the only thing they can do.
Yeah, I don't even know what they would go about doing. It's gonna be difficult for sure. I feel like they'd have to make, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is I can't remember where I was hearing it from, but there was somebody that was kind of speculating and throwing it out there that what if Vanguard ends up being like an alternate timeline where, yeah, it's World War II, but you're running around with like M4s and M16s and like jetpacks and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Which something like that could maybe help sell it, just
Mm-hmm.
because it's not just straight up boots on the ground World War II, like bland, boring. Plus, it's Sledgehammer doing it again. So, I mean, I don't know how much I trust Sledgehammer with the games.
I know Call of Duty World War II is a big learning lesson for them, and I heard they made that game better, but this is still only their second outing,
Right.
you know?
Well, and the other thing that drives me insane about Sledgehammer, especially Call of Duty World War II, was the colors. Like everything was so bland and dismal that it's just like it just almost made the experience more boring. I guess it was in a sense
Yeah.
more realistic, but I don't know.
It's not something to look at.
I don't want to play on maps that are just made up of different shades of shit brown the entire time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think we're kind of over that. Um, as a community, I mean, I just don't know anybody who's so crazy about that timeline, or about that time period.
Right.
Uh,
Like those games were fun. Like World of War was all right,
yeah.
was pretty good. But the only other time that I really truly enjoyed like those games from Call of Duty was on like the PS2, or the
Mm-hmm.
Xbox 360, when it was like just a campaign and maybe a multiplayer, but you're just those were the only times where I was like, "Oh, this World War II shit's kind of cool." But in a multiplayer setting, like your guns are limited, your attachments are limited, especially if you're staying realistic. Like you're not gonna have
Yeah.
like some badass red dot sight on a M1 Garand.
Yeah, yeah, seriously, and I think the Call of Duty, those old school World War II campaigns were fun because there was like a sense of purpose to what you were doing. Um, and in multiplayer you don't have that. You don't have that context. So maybe that's why it doesn't work. And I'm really, man, I'm stumping myself here. I'm trying to think because fucking Halo and Battlefield are bringing their AAA game. And
Right.
I think Call of Duty's dead. And I've researched the, okay, so this is a topic that's been around for a while. Like, let's be honest, every year, every game, someone's coming out saying, "Hey, Call of Duty's dead. Call of Duty's dead." If you search it on Google, you're gonna find videos from like years ago, and obviously they haven't died. One of their biggest games ever was Modern Warfare 2019, but we saw a significant drop in sales with Cold War, and I think this year they are going to get beat over the head, real bad. Because does anybody even want to play a World War II battle royale? I mean, look at Firestorm. Get
R-
out of here. No
Right.
one wants this shit.
I
Who is
mean,
their Who is the person that they're getting feedback from?
yeah, I don't know. Cause yeah, that's the other thing that blows my mind about Activision is like I feel like they don't listen to their community. Like the developers try to, and they change some of the
Mm-hmm.
shit, but the mass majority of like the game, they can't change it because Activision's like, no, fuck you, don't do that. We want the game this
Yep.
way. So I don't know.
Seriously.
I don't think Call of Duty will ever really die, but I think it could be in trouble, and it might not be considered one of the like heavy hitter first person shooters.
Yeah, might be dethroned.
Yeah, like I think Battlefield and Halo are definitely on their way up.
Yeah, you know what? I'll just go further and make another prediction. I think that this year's Call of Duty is going to be the Assassin's Creed Syndicate of the Call of Duty franchise. And what I mean by that is, or was it? I think it was Syndicate, where Ubisoft was like, "Hey, we need to step back and we need to change the whole look of this franchise." They skipped the every year model, and they went back to the drawing board. And I think that's going to force Activision to do that. Um, I don't know though. That's a speculation, but I think you have to at some point because yeah, they're not going to be a top contender.
Right,
And
yeah,
plus, fucking Battlefield's getting a release date sooner, most likely.
right.
It's gonna come out sooner.
Yeah,
But anyway, did you
it's
have anything on your notes?
uh just a couple more things going back to Halo.
Oh yeah,
Um
yeah.
they did rip one thing from other games. They're adding scope glint to their snipers, which I thought that was kind of interesting. And then
They're adding that to the snipers.
yeah, the snipers in Halo
Oh,
Infinite are gonna have scope glint,
I
which
don't know how I
is
like that.
yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like sometimes it's nice because you get that if your reaction times are fast enough, you have that split second to oh, I'm about to get my head ripped off, and you can get out of the way. But at the same time, as a sniper, and you see that person, and you're like, oh, I have this headshot dead to rights, and then all of a sudden they dash out of the way. It's like, well, all right, that sucked.
And I mean, I haven't played in a while, but I don't ever remember Halo being like the head glitchiest game that I could think of. Was there ever a time where you get killed in Halo and you're like, where the fuck did I get killed from? I guess maybe with a sniper, but like no one's head glitching with the sniper, are they?
There was a
To
few. I remember playing Valhalla on Halo 3, so I mean it's a ways back. But there was a couple spots where you
mm,
could get some pretty gnarly head glitches where, because I mean the bullets act in Halo, at least Halo 3. I don't know if it's changed, but in Halo 3 they act the same way as like Call of Duty bullets, where since you're looking down your sights or like hip firing or whatever, your gun's way down by your hip,
yep.
and that's not where your eyes are. So your bullet is actually like if you were to actually draw a real bullet from where it's coming from, the bullet would actually come out of like right between the eyes and the forehead. And that's why how head glitches work. is the gun doesn't actually need to be showing, it's just the top of the head, because that's where the bullet is programmed to come from.
Oh,
And then the tracer that comes out of your gun is programmed to like sync with where that actual shot's going, so they still hit in the same place. But
that's weird.
but then and that's why too, like sometimes like animations, like older Call of Duties would do it, but I know that like you would come out of a sprint and you might not actually be fully out of your sprint before you'd start shooting, so it looked like your gun's shooting to the left down in the dirt, but your bullets are going straight, but it's because the invisible program bullet is actually coming from your eyes.
That's fucky.
Yeah, that's why like in Modern Warfare 2019, why challenging to the one side was a little bit better than the other, because you have that visual advantage of your eye being to one side or the other versus, yeah. But
That
anyways,
makes sense.
yeah, so they're adding scope glint to sniper rifles. And the other thing I thought that was super cool that I'm excited about, because one of the things that I used to love about Halo was especially like Halo 5. Like the customization was pretty sweet. You could do some cool shit with your Spartans, but then when you'd go and get a match, you're red or you're blue. So you don't
Hmm.
really even get to see it. They're going away from that. There is no more red versus blue. That way you
That's
can
good.
actually see and show off your customization. And the way it's going to work is there'll be like a red outline or a blue outline kind of around your teammates. So you can see like which teammates are yours and which ones are the others. But you can still
Hmm.
see the armor coatings and like the skins and stuff that you have and actually show your Spartan off. So that
That's
part,
pretty sweet.
that has me pretty excited. And then the other
Hmm.
thing is they're bringing back vehicles in 4v4.
Oh shit.
So I mean, not your big like your wraiths and your banshees and your shit like that. Like that'll still be for big team, but they're bringing back like the mongoose and the ghost and some of the other smaller vehicles you used to be like in Halo, Halo 3 I know for sure. But there was
Yeah.
always the small vehicles you could cruise around in. They're bringing that back.
Oh sweet. Yeah, I used to remember the. I think the most fun like was the ghost. I love those things.
Yeah, cruising around on the ghost was always a fun time. And the other thing too that was always satisfying is when you're cruising on like a mongoose, or someone on the enemy team's cruising on a mongoose, and you just rip the driver's head off, and that mongoose just goes rolling until it stops. Like those are
Oh
those are the moments I used to love on Halo, like Halo 3.
yeah, yeah. I remember, man. I used to. One thing that would piss me off though is people are too fucking good with those sticky grenades, man.
Oh
People
yeah.
would jump over me and like hit me with the sticky grenade, and I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking Battlefield player. Don't be doing that shit. And then,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love sticky grenades, and then the other ones, Halo 3, I really liked the spike grenades.
Oh,
Because we'd always used to try
yes.
and stick the dude in the face, and then you'd call him a dick nose, or you'd stick the
Ah.
dude in the dick so it looked like he had a giant boner before he blew up. Like those were the moments that were
Oh,
just they were fun, funny. Like that's the kind of shit from gaming I miss, and I hope that I hope some of these games can get back to that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, everything nowadays it just seems like it's gotten too commercialized. You know, everything's a number. Everything's about the bottom line,
Right.
and we want some things just for pure enjoyment and just for fun. So
And on that topic,
yeah.
going back to Battlefield real quick, Tom Henderson on Twitter leaked that this will be the first Battlefield though with skill-based matchmaking.
Okay. Wait. With SPM, I remember. Okay, I can't remember if this was in the context of Battlefield 2042, but I remember them saying something about like matchmaking will be random, but once it will organize the teams according to skill of everybody in the lobby. Is that, or is it straight up SBMM?
Um, from the leak, it sounds like it's similar to that, but it's at the same time there's a lot more like SBMM that's going into it than
Fuck.
previously.
You know, Oh, geez. I mean, we could SPMM. That's its own topic. But fuck it. I hate it. I don't want it. Like, it's fine for a little bit. You know, if you're filtering out the people who have .5 KDs and putting them in a lobby together, that's fine. But for the rest of us, just let it be the Wild West. You know, I think I stand for most people in that.
Right. Like
Especially when you have 128 players in a lobby. Get out of here.
yeah, so I mean, either it's gonna be fine, or I feel like some of those could be some of the sweatiest matches of Battlefield I've ever played.
I really hope not. That's gonna ruin it. That's gonna, like, you could do everything else right. Put in SBMM, wrong. You fucked it up. That's my personal opinion on
Yeah,
it. I feel
especially.
so strongly about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I remember playing some like the older Call of Duties and like Gears of War and Halo 3. Like basically, you got shit on until you didn't anymore. Like you had to like you were forced to get better.
Yes. And that was like back in the day, that was why you went to YouTube. You know what I mean? You went
Right.
to YouTube and looked up videos. What are the best guns about Black Ops 2? I remember I used to look up, you know, how to play certain maps. I wanted to be that person at the top of the scoreboard.
Right.
But now, I mean, I guess you can play. I like playing just for fun, but being competitive is fun too,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Which,
So they should not take that aspect out of it.
right, I think that's why you should have like ranked and like league play, like game modes. Those should be skill-based matchmaking and ranked and
Yeah.
work your way up through it. Like if you want to be competitive, but I still feel that like casuals should just be a mixed bag.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get, and then it forces you to play smarter too, because you have to take into account your own skill level. And you know, if you're a lower skilled player, you're probably not gonna be the person to bust, you know, push in through the door on an enemy objective to try to take it over. You know, that's not what you're gonna do. You're gonna play a different way. So, yeah, but if you have everybody in there the same skill level, fucking Timmy No Thumbs is just as likely to run through the door and get 5 kills as anybody else. So it kind of sucks.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing is there isn't a Timmy No Thumbs anymore.
Oh, yeah. Does
If
that even exist?
if you're
Yeah.
if I mean if you're sweating your ass off in every lobby, that means everyone you're playing with is probably sweating their ass off in that lobby too, and they're just as sweaty as you are.
Yeah.
Or the
True.
or the couple that lost the match previous, so they drop down, so they're slightly sweatier than you are.
And you know what was so funny? I think the experience of skill-based matchmaking was like nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to be that competitive. People just wanted to win once in a while. And so people got sweatier and sweatier and then became sweats themselves. Even though like they didn't want to do that at first. You
Right.
know what I mean? The game forced you
Yeah.
in a way. It was like do that or just fucking get wrecked every game. It's up to you.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything I have. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it. Um, Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, stay tuned. We plan on doing these, recording them once a week and then uploading. Well, this probably come out on Monday, I think, because Monday is like the best day of the week for uploads. So we'll probably go ahead and do that. But anyway, till next time, I'm Dom,
I'm Colt.
and we will see you on the next Deathmatch and Chill.